Welcome back to Rotten Reelz Reviews, audio review number 44, boys and girls. So last week was me editing the crap out of 2 movie review videos. The creature features are aplenty, and I thought we could enjoy those. And by we, I mean I sit through some of these turds and giving a humorous take on them, and you enjoy the write-up. This time around, we hit a black and white from 1958 with action, drama, scintillating dialogue. None of that will be in there. So, how about a mad scientist, 2 cons on the run, and a rocket scheduled to go to the moon? This is Missile to the Moon. At the helm of directorial, Richard Cunha of She-Demons, Giant from the Unknown, Frankenstein's Daughter, Girl in Room 13. I mean, you know we're in good hands, right? What can possibly be there to mock? So on this lonely stretch of desert, the lonesome sheriff is hot on the trail of 2 devious cons that escape prison. Of course, looking around an obvious stage set won't help in the search. Yeah, riveting. For more than 10 years, building and perfecting it, Dr. Dirk Green has been working with NASA and the government to build better, superior rockets, all the while building a rocket of his own as well. Like in his backyard, in what I presume is Nevada, maybe Utah? I don't know. They never bothered to actually explain that. No, that's not a joke. It looks like the poor man's Vincent Price there is building his own rocket. The colonel of this mission, along with his assistant, Steve, Richard Travis, Man Who Came to Dinner, Mesa of the Lost Women, Cyborg 2087, Lassie, and Grand Jury, meet up with the good doctor with a face-to-face on the news that the funding for his exploration dreams are getting pulled. I guess you really want to drop that big of a bomb face-to-face rather than over the phone. Yeah, by the way, your shit's been pulled. Arriving as a retirement dinner, Steve and his fiancée June, Kathy Dowes of The Amazing Colossal Man, Perry Mason, Surfside 6, Rawhide, and Bat Masterson, feel that booze and the dullest conversation possible will ease the tension. Yeah, seriously, the tension is so thick a fucking lightsaber couldn't cut through it. Meanwhile, 2 cons that have escaped the Hooskow are looking for a place to hide on the lam. Naturally, Dirk's spaceship isn't guarded, locked down, locked up, or even looking like so much as it's secured in any way, shape, or form. These 2 think, I don't know, maybe they thought it was a tree fort to hide in. Allegedly, it has an electric fence around it, but the thing looks so janky. I mean, seriously, I think a stick could have overrid it. I still love how they pull back the curtain at Dirk's pad and boom, there's the rocket. I'm going, yeah. In no way, shape, or form does that thing look like, I don't know, maybe at best a 6-foot-high model right in front of the window. Not doing a really great scale. Yeah. Of course, I'm still looking at this and going, okay, so with adequate engines, fuel, pounds per thrust, absolutely no shielding around his house. I didn't even see so much as like a concrete barrier. Yeah, his entire house will catch on fire. But again, totally feasible. With craftsmanship, one could hardly conclude this wooden rocket superimposed on a backdrop. You could also probably didn't know that most spaceships actually have lots of pegboard and flimsy restraints for car batteries and otherwise acid-based batteries as a means of additional electrics. Yeah, I didn't know that either. The sheriff, in hot pursuit of these escaped crooks, just asked Dirk if he could look around his pad, and is really non-committable to the giant rocket in his backyard. I mean, the guy had to attempt some level of test flights, right? Calculations and preliminary gauging aside. What about the noise and the racket building that thing? Prepping a launch platform. But you know what? Fine. It's totally feasible. But seriously, what the hell kind of permits would you need to have for that? Dirk looks up at the rocket and spots the 2 hoods, but doesn't bother telling the sheriff. Yeah, Yes, two young roughs. Yes. Yeah, cue the porno music. He then bribes them with sandwiches, fruits, and a couple of Cokes and tells, 7-Ups, and tells them they're going into space whether they want to or not. Yeah, Green didn't build a one-man rocket, so why not make use of these two young punks? Steve and June start becoming a little concerned at what's happened to Dirk. And when the pre-flight computer starts blurring, they decide to go towards the blast zone. Yeah, that makes good sense. Accidentally stowing away regardless of extra weight, oxygen, fuel, adequate... sorry. Totally feasible. The 5 of them are off to the moon.
I'm afraid to try to move.
Oh, sorry, you might be missing out on some of this amazing discourse. Let's listen.
But apparently everything's all right, though. Counterbalance indicator.
Are we okay?
Something's out of place in the lower chamber.
Astonishing.
The control system is stabilizing.
Thankfully, they have enough spacesuits, masks, O2 tanks at the ready. Yeah, it's funny. The moon looks an awful lot like that region for around Vasquez Rocks. And, of course, a little after that, maybe off to Griffin Park near the Bronson fucking Canyon and their damn caves. What's the matter with the 40 acres in Culver City being used for gun smoke? Dirk dies from car battery bonking him on the noodle, and his dying words to Steve as he hands the amulet MacGuffin to assure them passage. The foolish force him go off and explore with guns. And there's scrub brush and cacti on the moon. Dreaded creatures composed of rock proceed to walk very slowly, but threatening to our landing party. So they proceed to try to drill them with combustion pistols that has no atmosphere around it at all. One might say even a vacuum, but again, totally feasible. Narrowly escaping the incredibly slow creatures, our heroes head for the caves. Deep in this labyrinth filled with bat poop is an oxygenated moon inhabited only by women. Con 1 and 2, of course, start falling for the moon girls almost immediately. That's called being horny for those that weren't paying attention. So the queen, muckety-muck, wants her space broads shipped to Earth to save their culture and blah, blah, blah. Oh, did I mention diamonds are plentiful on the moon, apparently? That would have solved NASA's budget right there. Methinks Armstrong skipped that detail. So Con 2, whose name I completely forgot and don't really give a damn, wants the diamonds and keeps making creeper eyes at all the girls. Seriously, this cat is a total thug. If this was shot in the 70s, it'd be exploration, exploitation. His character had been making the same rapey eyes and probably feeling up more than half the girls. The plot is more thinly veiled than the Moon Girls, and the subplots really go nowhere. Ultimately, aside from getting back home, that's about it. I mean, it's like the civilization is doomed. Oh, also, the killer spider puppet is this little bit of nonsense is left over from the 1955 Tarantula. Yeah, quick call Miles O'Keefe in. Only he can battle a puppet that size. That's an A-Tor reference for those that didn't get it. So, yeah, you got your standard good versus evil, Earthmen made mindless by hormones, some sort of psychic battle for scooping up one of the doughy guys, Steve there. In all intents and purposes, this film has no redeeming value at all. I mean, you had a lot of good ideas, nowhere near the budget or really the locations. And honestly, a lot of this kind of need to be on a soundstage. I mean, the upside to this is I could say the Rip Tracks version with Mike Nelson, Kevin Murphy, and Bill Corbett, formerly of Mystery Science Theater 3000, actually made this film bearable to watch, and the riffs were pretty damn funny. I mean, you realize these poor bastards in the rock costumes have got to be just sweltering out there. You just actually hear their bodily water just slosh around in those suits. Like, ugh. And as always, if you guys have any comments, any critiques, you need me to run another movie, hey, maybe you guys might want to find me something to watch for a change. Hit me up at Facebook on Rotten Reelz Reviews. I can be reached at Twitter, also Rotten Reelz Reviews. But, yeah, leave a comment in the comment section. That's also good. And I am going to be exploring whether or not to go back to YouTube. It's just going to be on those lines of if anything's improved yet or not. They seem to be trying to move to make it more kid-friendly. I don't know. But with that being said, that's all I got. Hope you guys had a good time with this, and I know I enjoyed it.